to wave your arms all over the place while falling into the hole? Because if so, you nailed it.
Yes, it all went great.
Wow. To think that this show originally started as a pitch to be a family as cannibals.
Yes.
To you guys doing this for 10 years. To now being a feature-length film. I mean, first of all, I just had to say congratulations because it's huge, and I'm so happy for you.
We did do it.
You guys did it.
We did do it.
You did it. You're sitting here, and you've spent so much time with these characters that I feel like they must feel like a body part to you at this point.
Yeah,
so
like a tale that people judge.
I was like, Gene, come to life. I'm freaking out. My first question to you is, what part of you lives in each of these characters? That's what I want to know. Like, how did you make this character your own? And if you pulled, I'm a pop culture nerd, so if you pulled anything from pop culture to bring into your character, I'd love to know that too. John Roberts, I'd love to start with you because I spent all my college years watching your viral YouTube videos of you impersonating your mom.
Yeah.
And there's this one line you would say that was, oh, look at the ducks. That just kills me to this day.
Sure.
And I feel like there's so much of your mom and Linda.
There is so much of my mom and Linda, and I've actually been doing that impersonation of her since I was probably like in second, third grade, because she's from Brooklyn, and she was always so funny sounding to me. And she also had a thing of wigs that she would let me play with, and I would pretend I was her going to like Bambergers. I don't know. It used to be Macy's was Bambergers. You're probably too young, but and you know, all her momisms, you know, that I use, it's very similar to Linda. And I feel like it is like a limb a little bit because it's my mom, you know. So there's so much of her and Linda.
The best part of Linda is I wanted to ask you is, do you randomly in your life just bust out in song? Because she'll just walk into a kitchen and be like, cabinets, cabinets, cups, cups, cups.
I do it with my dogs a lot. I sing a lot of songs to them about food and just like kisses and cuddles and stuff. Yeah, that's a lot of improv songs all day long, mostly.
And John also has a music career.
That's correct.
True.
Yes.
Yes, of all of us, he's an actual singer.
Check out his album Kisses and Cuddles.
Wait, is that what it's? I would buy that album.
100%.
That's the follow-up.
Songs for dogs.
Right. Kisses and cuddles. Who's the kissy cuddly do? Kiss and cuddles.
It's for dog owners. For dog owners who can't sing to the pets.
Right.
He does. He takes the hard work.
And
one of my songs, "Stink a little stinkums, stink a little stinkity do."
That's an earworm, right?
They love that one.
Best in Show. I think Catherine O'Hara goes off with.
Oh, he stole it.
Yeah.
Would love to know what part of you lives in Bob. I don't think any character on TV says, "Oh my God," more than Bob Belcher does. Like, tell me what part of you lives in him, and how many like inflections of "Oh my God."
They still make me do it live for every take. I'm shocked that they can't reuse the 7,000 "Oh my gods" they have already recorded. So, and there's usually like 3 or 4 a show. We were just discussing that with the last episode. I said, "Oh my God," 4 times, and I suggested that maybe we write one episode where Bob just says, "Oh my God," the whole time.
That would be iconic. I'd love to know a part of you though.
Oh, well,
into Bob.
That's funny. Lauren and I go way back with a bunch of different kinds of characters that I did for other animated shows for him. And they were much more aggressive and more pompous and loud. And when I started Bob's, it was really fun to play a different role altogether and let the people who play the other characters be the loud really the humor of the show. And so
how does it relate to you?
I'm getting
how
to
does it relate to you?
Getting to it. I'm getting to it. Let me get to it. Let me get to it. Let me get to it.
Your soul.
Let me get to it.
It's your soul.
Why?
7 minutes left?
What?
It's your ethereal
She
essence.
asked
It's
me.
poured into Bob.
No, I
it's
know
the way
that.
you raised your
She
son.
asked me, so let
Is that
me.
right?
I'm dead.
We tried to ask you, but it's literally another. It's
Actually,
we'll see what happens when they
H.
ask
Jon
you.
Benjamin, you mentioned.
I don't think they're going to get to ask us.
I will
now.
say that there's an interior part of me that's a lot like Bob. He's quiet and a little reserved and shy.
We didn't see that a couple minutes ago.
You
No, because,
mentioned
like,
you
when-
mentioned past animated
when you
shows
poke the bear.
you've done with Lauren. And I want to go deep cut here real quick for
Okay.
Dr. Katz fans, because a lot of people say that your character Ben Katz is kind of like a young Bob. So did you bring anything from like Dr. Katz into Bob?
No, I mean, I actually think if I brought anything to Bob, it was me being a dad. They sort of coincided. So my son was, probably like five or six when the show started. So I was a dad at that point. So I borrowed from me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Dan, Tina is, and I hate saying this word because we use it so much in society, and I feel like I'm to blame for it, but she's just so iconic. And I feel like a lot of people don't know that she was originally supposed to be a Daniel. And you're Dan. So what part of you, Dan, lives inside Tina, and who is she at her core?
I mean, Tina is kind of paradoxically both like quiet and awkward and like confident and cool all at the same time. I'm like, the confident cool part came from me. I didn't really know how to play quiet and awkward. I'm just kidding. But yeah, it was. But it's amazing how many people are like I so relate to that character. Like I really felt like especially when they switched from being a boy to a girl, like it was going to be almost like a gimmick character, like talks like me, but it's a girl and she says like weird things. But then the writers just did such a good job of giving her more and more nuance and personality and depth that like it all of a sudden became something that or not everyone, but certain types of people are like that. That's exactly me. That's exactly what I was like. Which is so cool to hear that.
It is. Everyone resonates with Tina. And Louise too. I love Louise's sort of, her lack of filter and her sense of bravery is so awesome. So obviously same question to you, Kristen. So cool to meet you, by the way. Like, thank you for entertaining me for my entire life. And also, has her sense of bravery seeped into your life?
Ooh, yes. Louise is definitely me in my childlike, it's so fun to be a child. You're allowed to be emotional and big and like make mistakes and splash around and do dumb things and have enthusiasm, which is, I feel like adults, if they have enthusiasm, everyone's like, what's wrong with them? Are they on something? But children get to be like, yeah, and it feels so fun. Like right now, I look weird saying that as an adult person.
Yeah, what are you on?
Yeah.
Exactly, orange juice.
Yeah.
So it's fun that I get to be that with Louise. I would say something that I try to do is not have regrets, and I think Louise does that too. But if it's something I feel like, oh, I'm too scared, I always think like, okay, you're scared, but are you gonna feel regretful that you didn't do this? Like future Kristen is always like, I'm always protecting future Kristen from not feeling like, damn it. Even if it doesn't work, I just always want to try it.
That's so beautiful, especially knowing that the message people are going to get out of this movie from Louise specifically, with you having said that. So I love that. Thanks.
Naz.
Yeah, thanks, Kristen. Eugene.
Hi.
Gene is the most hilarious. He just is, like, straight up facts. I love his love for music, which we also get to see in this movie. I know a fan actually gifted you a keyboard. So I'd love to know what you brought to Gene and what informed him. And are you a fan of music?
I mean, I'm a fan of music. I can't really play music. And in fact, I would say Gene sings better than me because the way they record it is I like repeat a line after they do it and then they edit it together. So Gene is like my dream singer. But I think that he has a lot of enthusiasm. So maybe a certain love of jokes and enthusiasm. And then pop culture stuff. Gene mentions a disproportionate amount of stuff that occurred in the 70s and 80s pop culturally. And I believe that might be as a result of my age more than his. So yeah, I bring probably a lot of love of Simon and Simon and whatever else I've mentioned.
Modest
and Salman
Modest
Rushdie. I think the second episode we have an improv involving that's my pop culture reference, Salman Rushdie.
And
but where we
that was
did a lot of foods. Well, we debate whether he wrote The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Right.
Yes. So that was like early on. And then a lot of foods. A lot of the foods that
Gene's
I love.
read the Satanic Verses.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yes, and he enjoyed it. He was like, he connected. I forget if I've answered your question, but I did talk a bunch.
Yeah, you did. You did. I love because those references are the best part of Gene, and I love that that's like really who you are and what you bring to it. So thank you for that, Larry.
Yes.
I love Teddy. Teddy's sense of loyalty and commitment to the Belchers is like every single millennial girl's dream. Like if I could have that sense of loyalty and commitment in my life.
Yeah.
What part of you is in Teddy, and why do you think he is so loyal to the Belchers?
I think that he is trying to find the thing that's missing in his own life and fulfilling it with the people in the Belcher family. And yeah, I think I connect with that with this group of people. I feel lucky to work with this group of people. And I'm sorry,
I didn't know
real,
that.
but
No,
I think
he's
that it's a
very,
great
very
group of
lucky.
people.
We feel lucky to have
and I
Larry.
think they're a lot of fun.
Very lucky.
Yeah.
Yes.
Larry, that was such a beautiful sentiment. I
Yeah,
love
it's
that.
true.
And it is lucky to be able to work, especially in this industry with like great people and just talking to you guys right now. You guys really are just like a
Everyone here
family.
really likes each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you could tell. I love you guys. I also love all the lines in like this show and the movie. I used to produce The Bachelor, and my favorite line ever was in season 2. Louise has to write an essay about someone who's really important to her. And Tina says, well, I'd write about the guy who flies a helicopter on The Bachelor. And I'm like, that guy's actually really important to me. And so that line has always stuck with me my entire life as a producer because I'm like, that man is so important to me. What line, I want to know from all of you, what line from your characters really resonated with you? Maybe it's a line you improvised or something that's just so memorable and has stuck with you. And feel free to act it out if you want. You don't have to. I'd love to just start with you, Dan, and go this way.
I mean, I think the line, I don't even remember what the episode's from, but girls have uteruses, boys have deuteruses was memorable. Because it's like, I feel like if anyone else was saying it, it'd be such an awkward thing, but it kind of somehow flows naturally from Tina's thought process.
There's in the episode, I forget which one it is, but it's with Tina. It's recently, it's like last season. And Tina's worried about her looks, whether or not she looks pretty enough. And Louise doesn't understand. She's like, what are faces but like eye holes and a mouth hole? Like just holes and it like beauty to her is, I feel like what beauty should be to everybody, which is who cares? And I love that line. I mean, Nora Smith wrote that. You met her. She's great.
Love that.
There was a line, they animated it, it ended up getting cut, but there was a scene where the kids are in the diner and they're excited to visit their grandparents. And they're talking about why they like to visit their grandparents and like the things they let them do. And there was a line where Gene says, they let me eat all the Tylenol PM I want. And they animated it, and then they were like, you know what, maybe we won't include it. Like, maybe we can't actually include that. And I think you could even hear me like laughing as like a little like, but it was fun. That was a line that I will hopefully work back into it one day.
You'll get to mention Tylenol PM.
Yeah.
At some point.
Tylenol, now you owe me $100 million.
I will have to go with I love you, but you're all terrible.
That's on a t-shirt that my dad wears.
Yeah. I feel like that's like I was very early on, it might have been the first episode of the show, so that sort of set the tone. But that's as cynical as Bob ever got, I guess, and he's gone the other way since.
For me, I think when Linda said, when I die, I want you to cremate me and throw my ashes in Tom Selleck's face. That resonates with me because it's actually my mother did say that.
That's amazing.
And we got her, she actually met him because my friend was on this show with him. And but I think it might have changed to Hugh Jackson now. Is that? Yeah,
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman, right.
Hugh Jackman.
She's Jackson.
Well, the great thing about ashes is you can throw them in so many celebrities' faces.
Exactly.
Once you're cremated, it's
Bring
like
them
really
back.
Jackson, here we come.
A little for Jared Leto.
Right. I think me and my sister will split duties after that.
Exactly. I mean,
You know, we'll ambush a lot of people.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All of my mom's famous.
yeah, we hope if this
her-
gets nominated and we're invited
everyone's-
to anything,
Yeah.
get ready. Boom, 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 boom.
The Chippendales dancers, anyone my mom loves. lives.
Well, I hope she lives.
That's a lot of
Yeah.
that's a lot of ashes.
Not this movie. When the
Yeah.
fourth Bob's movie
Yeah.
is nominated.
Well,
Yeah.
God forbid
Many
she's
years
not
down
dead.
the
So
line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine's something that they wrote, and I didn't realize how funny it was until it was animated, and like we see the movie, the shows a year later, and it was something the writers wrote where Teddy's driving and he's singing, "I wish my radio worked." I wish my radio worked, or yeah, something to that effect.
Such a Teddy
It
line.
was funny.
So good. There's so many good lines in this movie. And this movie, I love this movie because so many of your character storylines just propel forward. And I want to know specifically from you, Kristen, and Jon Benjamin, how you think the Bob's Burgers movie moved your character storyline forward.
Well, 'cause in this movie, we talk about why she wears the bunny ears, which has been the most asked question for Louise since we started. And I know they've been keeping that in their back pocket for a big moment, and they decided to make it a movie. So you get to see why she's wearing them, and I don't want to give too much away, and whether or not she decides to keep one, and why. And yeah, and she's a kid, so she's like, it's just another moment of being a kid where you have to evolve your emotions a bit.
Thank you, Kristen.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I just you hadn't been thanked at all in this interview. I just wanted to.
Oh, thank you for thanking me.
She actually did thank you.
Yeah, I think Naz has been
So
not only heaping praise, but also just a genuine fan. It's been really delightful.
Yeah,
Really.
I
Thanks,
think
guys.
Bob, I think Bob probably certainly in the beginning of the movie for the first time is shaken more than he's ever been by what's going on around him.
Yeah.
So I think that's a big moment for Bob, and it's not like that's not unfamiliar for him. He's always sort of under the water a little bit, trying to tread water with the business and the family. But I think this one is the biggest challenge for him, and the kids, or really Linda first.
Well,
always.
Linda, his Rock of Gibraltar.
Yeah, and then
Behind every unsuccessful man is an unsuccessful woman.
Yeah.
I've been saying
And
that
then
for
I think
years.
I do think that the kids in this really do, especially in the movie, pull together and really try and help. They are kids, and they can mess it up a little bit, but everybody really pulls together for Bob in this one, and he'll probably remember that.
It's the best. And it was probably fun for you as a dad to bring that sort of dadness to that for
Yeah,
you.
and I also want to note that I am far worse of a dad in real life than Bob.
Oh yeah.
I love you.
And
You're all
everybody knows
terrible.
it.
Amazing. My last question to you guys.
Everybody knows
I'm so excited for everyone to see this in the movie theaters.
Yeah,
And I'm a
same
major
here.
fan of cheeseburgers and just food in general. So I want to hear from all of you. What movie concession theater snack would you pair with this film? We'll start with you, Larry.
Popcorn.
I
I mean, they
they.
sell it
I was
at
gonna
all the
say that
theaters.
too.
They have it.
Mhm.
Good choice.
Popcorn and edibles. No, I like sometimes in the theater it's popcorn and then something sweet like a gummy something, a Swedish.
Do you put it
Like
in there? Do you put it in the popcorn? I've seen people
Oh,
do
yeah.
that. You
Oh,
do
Oh,
that?
you could
No,
put
that's
peanut
disgusting.
M&Ms in the popcorn.
You put that? Do that?
She knows. Yeah.
You've done that? Wow.
Everybody does it.
So you want
Really?
little
They do?
kids to be
Yeah.
you want little kids to be really high when they see the movie. That's a good.
That's me, John. For me,
With sugar, not with.
That's what I want to eat.
Mm.
What would you have, John?
I'd sneak in food. I'll sneak in something.
Bologna.
Oh, like
Egg salad sandwich?
Oh,
like chicken tikka masala. Would you ever sneak in chicken
Yeah,
tikka
something
masala?
like something really good.
Little
Yeah.
pho?
Right.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, like
Oh,
a nice
nice-
big noodle
nice
soup
pho would
with
be
some
good.
fresh
Nice
fresh
Yeah, that's
spring
great.
summer rolls.
Oh yeah,
Right, a
Some
little
shrimp.
cooler, like a
Things
cooler.
you
ramps,
really have to cut
ramps if they're in
into.
season.
Yeah.
Get those.
I would bring a mashed potato
Cutlery.
bar.
Ooh.
So it's like you have mashed
Oh.
potatoes, but then
Perfect.
it's scallions
Perfect.
and, you know,
Yeah,
bacon.
and
Perfect.
cheese.
Yeah,
There's no
bacon
mashed
and
potato
all-
bar.
What?
It's a baked potato
Yeah.
bar, right?
Oh yeah, it's a
Well,
big.
you-
Well,
there's no
you
mashed
mash it
potato
up.
bar.
then.
I'd love a whole.
First of all,
Where do you live?
Whoever
No,
heard of
he
that?
Where
pulled
do I
a major
live?
thread. He
Yeah.
pulled a
Potato bar.
major thread on
Do a
you.
potato.
okay, so I created a new business. And I brought it to the movies. She wants us to stop.
They're
Oh,
wrapping
guys,
me
I
up,
wanna
so-
stop.
I just need to hear from you guys and we're
Oh.
done.
Hot dog
I'm hungry.
with wine. You can get wine at the Arc. Like, oh, did they shut down?
Oh, that's right.
Well, you can go to the Falmouth Cinema
Oh.
Pub and get nachos or a
Alamo
Caesar
Draft House.
salad or
Alamo
Draft
you know,
House. Yeah, I would pair
clam
it
chowder.
with a drink.
Sneaking a beer.
I'd say
Sure.
don't get a large soda because you don't want to miss a minute having to go to the
Smart.
bathroom.
Ah.
So get a small
Yeah.
soda.
That's really pragmatic,
Yeah.
Jan.
Practical.
Yeah.